Anyway, I think that's a sign. I need to stop listening to these songs. You know what I'm saying? Not on anything crazy, but bro, this song is old. You know? Like, y'all just requesting any drill song at this point, bro. And I genuinely don't care. Like, they're not even requesting like the bangers anymore, bro. Just random bullshit. I think that's what the universe is saying. You know what I'm saying? We can park it now, man. We listen enough random bullshit for the day. Just random bullshit. I think that's what the universe is saying. You know what I'm saying? So we can park it now, man. We can park the music now, man. Jesus Christ, man. Man say, am I the only one in here? What the F? Yeah, we were just live for 5 hours and then my Wi-Fi chip out 2 times. But I think it's for our side. Man say, who you talking to? I'm talking to myself and you, Aral. But yeah, we were just live for time and then, you know, it chip out. So I think it's the universe just telling me to, hey, yo, you've been listening to just random drill songs for hours now, like, you understand? Can watch something else now, man. Because I've been tired of those songs.
YBC
but, you know, because I rate the man them, man say I'm the only one in here. I know, bro. But because I rate the man them, you know, and the man them request it, I listen to it. But I can't lie. I've been wanting to stop listening to music for about like 2 hours now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of random bullshit. Let me, you know what I'm saying?
Disrespect to another level and even dug up an op's grave. And
But
one
say,
day
why
after
kids
he
you
bragged
not
about
talk to
never
me?
getting touched, the ops caught up to him and left him dead in the street. It's one of the most brutal stories in the rap game. And today, we're breaking the whole thing down. On August 23rd, 2024, YBC Duel and his homies were sitting in a whip on the 5500 block of North 6th Street in Philly when another car pulled up and started letting off shots. Duel got hit in the chest and hand and couldn't drive, so his homie got in the driver's seat and rushed him to a house a couple blocks away. His homies put
Whoa, no, I never saw that.
YBC Duel, we're breaking the whole thing down. On August 23rd, 2024, YBC Duel and his homies were sitting in a whip on the 5500 block of 6th Street in Philly when another car pulled up and started letting off shots.
No.
Duel got hit in the chest and hand and couldn't drive, so his homie got in the driver's seat and rushed him to a house a couple blocks away. His homies put Duel in another car and drove him to the hospital, but it was already too late and Duel was pronounced dead later that day. The cops don't have any suspects, but they found a stolen car that had been set on fire close to the scene.
Damn, Irony didn't get notification for the last stream. I'm gonna talk to YouTube for you.
And they think the shooters burned the whip to get rid of the evidence. And while the cops are still looking at Duel's crime scene, another dude got killed on the north side just a couple hours after Duel died.
Wow.
The cops say a 33-year-old dude was walking down the 600 block of North 12th Street when 2 shooters pulled up and started shooting. The dude ran behind the whip, but the shooters kept letting off shots and hit a 9-year-old boy in the leg. The kid survived.
What?
The other guy was announced dead at the hospital. It's not clear if the shootings are related or not, but the violence definitely won't end.
It won't end.
Before we dive into the brutal gang war tearing up Philly right now, we gotta see how YBC Duel got wrapped up in everything and became the most hated rapper in Philly.
What happened?
Duel was raised on the north side when he was a kid, but when he turned 10 years old, his family moved to the west side. He got active in the streets at an early age, but back in the day, it wasn't anything too serious. Duel was jacking whips and taking them for joyrides, and then at 14 years old, he caught his first case for stealing the car. Duel wasn't gonna have to do a lot of time for taking 14 years old.
Bro, first of all, look at this Call of Duty camo gun.
Serious. Duel was jacking whips and taking them for joyrides.
Right.
And then at 14...
Rolling around with an orange camo Glock. And you've been stealing cars since 14. Like, bro, this guy was always heading down the wrong path, bro.
Years old, he caught his first case for stealing the car. Duel wasn't gonna have to do a lot of time for taking the car, but then he caught another charge for beating someone.
Yes, I was supposed to react to the UK drill video once it dropped, but the man them just kept requesting songs, bro, so I couldn't get to do it. I've been wanting to react to the UK drill plug video. I wanted to be one of the first persons to react to it, but the man them just kept requesting songs.
Went up in school and got booked for aggravated assault. Duel ended up in juvie for a few years, but when he came home,
Wait, what he do?
up for joyrides, and then at 14 years old, he caught his first case for stealing the car. Duel wasn't gonna have to do a lot of time for taking the car, but then he caught another charge for beating someone up in school and got booked for aggravated assault.
Damn.
Duel ended up in juvie for a few years, but when
For
he
a
came
few
home,
years for
the
beating up
situation was
somebody
about
in
to
school?
get deadly. After Duel moved to the west side, he got tight with a lot of people around the area and started running with them. But at first, none of them were gangbanging. They were all just trying to get money.
Wow.
That's when his homies, J100 and Baby Cock, came up with the name Young Bag Chasers,
Young
aka
Bag Chasers.
YBC.
YBC.
Back then, they were all focused on getting to the bag. But then, one of their homies died and everything changed.
What?
On May 29th, 2019, Joshua David Munson, aka YBC Josh, was chilling on the
YBC
4200
Josh.
block of Wyalusing Avenue when someone in a Dodge Ram parked around the block and ran over to where Josh was. It's not clear exactly how it went down, but the dude who ran over started busting shots at Josh and then went back to his whip.
Wow.
Josh was rushed to the hospital and lived for 2 days, but he couldn't
Damn.
recover from the shots and tragically ended up dying.
Damn.
And that's when YBC started turning up in the streets. A
Damn.
few months after YBC Josh died, YBC allegedly clapped back and killed an op named Buddy. YBC was also beefing with 39th Street, and after they allegedly killed Buddy, 2 dudes from YBC allegedly got into a shootout with a dude from 39th Street named Fro. Fro was allegedly one of the top shooters for 39th Street.
Wow.
Rumors say he killed a dude named BL who was cool with YBC. At the same time, YBC was beefing with a crew from Belmont, aka the Mont, and they allegedly killed a dude from there named Q Raw in January 2021. YBC still wanted to get back at Fro, and a couple months later, they got some bad info that Fro was going to be getting out of jail. Some YBC dudes waited outside the prison and wanted to kill Fro as soon as he walked out, but they ended up killing an innocent dude named Rodney Hargrove instead.
Yeah.
Then in May 2021,
That was like, yo,
YBC
that's just lame, bro. That's just lame, bro. The dude's literal name is Fro, bro. You know what he looks like, bro. That guy and that guy don't look nothing alike, bro. There's no way you should be mixing those guys up, bro. This is why I can't rate them something, bro. Like, I'll never, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, never, bro.
He turned up even more and killed 2 people in the same day. Nazir Marks was about to graduate high school and was supposed to be the first person in his family to go to college. But 2 weeks before
Wow.
he graduated, he stepped off a bus and was shot to death by Reek 1200 and Murder K from YBC.
What?
It's not clear why they killed Nazir Marks, but they weren't finished yet. After they killed Nazir Marks,
What?
Reek 1200 and Murder K ditched their whip and hopped in another car to slide on Kanye Pittman. Kanye
What?
Pittman was hanging out behind his school and talking to a friend when YBC walked him down and killed him. YBC wasn't just putting pressure on the ops in the street though. They
What?
were also dissing pretty much every gang in the city. And Reek 1200 self-snitched like crazy when he hopped on the track No Get Back and rapped, "Don't get it twisted, bitch. I still pop it out that cut. He out of luck. Caught his ass up on that side. He should have ducked.
Wow.
We spin back to back, 2 bodies in one day. They know what's up.
They know
we get
what's
it done,
up.
get that
Wow.
drop, and drop his ass. This shit for fun."
Wow.
YBC was tearing up the city, and a couple months later, they killed 2 more people. In July 2021, K3, his homie Snipe, and 2 other friends were all going to play basketball. K3 was a star athlete and wanted to play in college, and reports say he wasn't involved with the streets at all. K3's mom had just bought him a car so he could drive to basketball practice. He picked up Snipe and 2 other homies to go play. But then YBC Curry and another dude from YBC named F5 pulled up and started letting off shots.
What?
K3 and Snipe were both killed, and YBC has been dissing them like crazy, even though they allegedly weren't the intended targets. At
What?
the same time,
Nah, I
YBC
can't
was still
respect
hunting
that.
Fro hard.
I can't
And
respect
in May
that, bro.
2021, they shot up his house and ended up hitting his little sister instead. Fro's family knew they had to get out of there before the situation got worse.
What
so
the
they moved
hell?
all the way across town and stay out of the drama. Usually, that would have been enough to stay safe.
Yeah.
But YBC wasn't going to stop until they killed Fro. After Fro's family moved, YBC Curry actually went around the neighborhood with pictures of Fro's mom and started asking random people if they had seen her.
Yo,
the people
what?
in Fro's new neighborhood had no idea that his family moved to get away from the violence, so they told Curry where he could find them. And
What?
Curry completely crashed out. After Curry found out where Fro was living, he went sliding on Fro and caught him outside his crib. Curry chased Fro down and started letting off shots. Fro made it inside the house, but Curry kept shooting and killed Fro, and hit his dad too.
Whoa.
Cops pulled up while Curry was still at Fro's crib though. Curry started busting shots at them too and ran away, but the cops found him a few minutes later while he was trying to hide underneath a car. YBC was going
Wow.
crazy in the streets, but their ops
Nah,
were the only
this
ones
dude,
taking custody.
nah.
In 2022,
Nah.
the ops caught up to Baby Kyle from YBC and lit him up while he was sitting in his whip. Baby Kyle's one of the dudes who started YBC, and the ops really wanted him gone. So they shot him over 25 times just to make sure he didn't survive.
Damn.
And the ops took out YBC Dot Fetty, and rumors say he was YBC Duel's blood cousin. Nobody was booked for the hit, but a lot of people think he was killed by a group called CCK. CCK is a clique of 3 different groups: the Clappers from 56th Street, the Clappers from 7th Street, and the Campers. YBC had beef with all of them before they clicked up, and after Dot Fetty got killed,
Wow.
Lil Bucks from the Campers dropped the track Lonely Child and rapped, "Young Bull walks to the store, but he ain't make it back. Your homie died, you went slide, you went to make a track."
Wow.
Fetty hot as shit in them boots. He tried to bust the trap. My name always on that radar, on that dispatch. YBC was losing a lot of members, and then they took another big loss when J100 got killed. According to reports,
Damn.
Jay was shooting a music video and gave out his location to the ops. They pulled up to the scene and started letting off shots, and J100 got hit in the head and was dead by the time police got there. After he died,
bro.
J100 was getting dissed by people all over Philly. Even K3's mom hopped on IG Live with Lil Bucks and started clowning them. But YBC was still the most disrespectful crew in the city, and YBC Duel took it to another level. When YBC Duel hopped in the booth, he started dissing dudes from all over the city, and fans started calling him Mr. Disrespectful because of how much he was clowning his dead ops. Like on the track So Many Names,
Yeah.
he raps, "It's Mr. Disrespectful. We dropped so many shells on the 9, that shit the gun range. I
Ugh.
can't wait to catch Quasi. He keeps saying bro name. I'm smoking Fro right now. He called that switchy to the brain. Snipe got caught up at the light. K3 just had to feel the flame. And that young bull from the back block tried to run. They did him bad. Sid got did the worst way. That switchy hit him and his dad. They gonna keep telling niggas. Then the 9, his sister got tagged. Q Rizzy got hit with 2 shots. That pound put him on his ass. Duel was sending shots at dudes who weren't even involved with the war. Back in 2023, a dude named Booger was leaving his job at McDonald's when someone pulled up and shot him to death.
What?
Booger wasn't in the streets, but his brother is a dude from CCK named Sonny Goon.
Wow.
According to rumors, the shooters couldn't get at Sonny Goon, so they killed his brother instead. And
Damn.
on the track McButtons and
Nah,
McNuggets,
that's OD, bro. I work at McDonald's, bro. My brother is a drug dealer outside making all this money. I work at McDonald's, bro. And you come get me at McDonald's, bro, because you can't get my drug dealer brother? Nah, bro, that's messed up, bro. That's messed up, bro.
IBC Duel dissed Booger and raps, and we known for cracking noggins. Just ask Sonny about McDonald's. Caught Uga walking out that job and left his face red like he Ronald. And on McButtons and McNuggets Part 2, Duel raps, "We catch niggas while they clocking out. Nigga worked at McDonald's, pussy shoulda took a different route." In the beginning of the video for Part 1, YBC Duel and his homies also
Wagwan,
pulled up
Jesse,
to an actual
wagwan.
McDonald's to order some food and told the cashier he
Yeah,
wanted
I
the
soon
Uga
watched
Buga
that video.
sauce. YBC had enemies all around their block, but they were also linked up with PNB and the Tortures. They have a lot of the same ops, and YBC Duel started dissing PNB's ops too. PNB Rock was the biggest rapper from the set, and in 2016, his brother Steph was allegedly killed by a dude named Nemo who repped a crew called the West Side Mafia. Nemo ended up getting killed a year later, and dudes from PNB and the Tortures started dissing him immediately. YBC Duel is tight with a dude from PNB and the Tortures named Hop Out Blick. Right now, Hop Out Blick is facing murder charges over
that's
a
what I'm
brutal
saying.
shooting. But before he got booked, he linked up with Duel on the track So Many Names and raps. Nemo caught a face shot. Ski Lack caught a headshot. He was trolling on that gram. That shit got his man shot. P&B and the Tortures also had beef with a crew called the Black Flags. Back in 2021, Shido and another dude from the Black
Yo, why so many dudes from Philadelphia look like this, bro? This haircut and this beard style, bro. Like, what the hell?
Flags named Neef Curry were driving down the road when the ops caught up to him and started letting off shots. Shido got hit twice in the head and couldn't move the right side of his body. And Curry was pronounced dead at the scene. And on the track Diss the Dead, YBC Duel dissed both of them in raps. Sitting there, rolling up the dead ops. How the fuck that boy still alive? He caught a headshot. They tell me don't diss the dead. I'm like, I can't stop. Hop out Blick and Duel were dissing their ops like crazy. But then Hop out Blick self-snitched and got caught up in a wild murder case. According to the cops, Blick and his homies set up a gun sale and decided to rob the dudes who were gonna buy the straps.
Wow.
The robbery went left though, and everyone started shooting. And when it was over, 3 people were dead. Blick did the race for a few months, but he basically told the cops how it went down on an unreleased track where he raps, "We fried La, now he can't pop no more willies." Them big ass 40 hoes looked like he felt a 10 milli. They should have played it smart and just gave up them glizzies. They made a wrong move and then my twin let off his switchy. He took that risk and we shot Leaky in his kidney. This nigga got me teed. Like,
wait, so how are you lining up a gun trade with ops? That don't make sense to me. Walk on the legend, walk on, man say Mikey, trigger double trigger for no reason, gang. But they said he lined up a gun trade. How do you line up a gun trade with your ops? I know after the gun trade goes wrong, you know, talking about it in a song. That don't make any sense to me, bro. Something don't add up right here.
They should have played it smart and just gave up them glizzies. They made a wrong move and then my twin let off his switchy. He took that risk and we shot Leaky in his kidney. This nigga got me teed. Like how you make it to the dock. They can't stop the tease because we keep torching on they block. Blick wasn't the only dude YBC Duel was linking up with in the booth though. Duel started buzzing in Philly, but was getting fans outside of the city too. In July 2024, he dropped a track with Lil Scoom and Lil Jeff from Chicago, but both of them were killed before the track even came out. Lil Jeff was blowing up in the Chicago drill scene, but he still had both feet in the trenches. Jeff repped a set on the east side of Chicago called the Bloodhounds, and he ended up dying while sliding on their ops from Trap City. Lil Jeff also had ties to a crew called Drill City, and for a long time, they were cool with Trap City. Then a dude named Lil from Trap City allegedly set up a dude from Drill City named Z Money and got him killed. Z Money dying is what made Lil Jeff really get
These
active
men be
in the
wildin'
streets.
in the US.
He became one of the biggest shooters in the city. Lil Jeff's homies allegedly killed Lil from Trap City to get back for Z Money, and Jeff dissed Lil on a track and raps, "For Z Money, we got back. Ain't take too long, bitch, I'm relentless." Then after Lil died, Lil Jeff allegedly slid on 2 dudes from a set called BKN. Monty and Lil Rob both rep BKN and were standing outside of their high school when 2 shooters rolled up and killed them in broad daylight. Lil Jeff wasn't booked for the shooting, but he self-snitched about it on the track and raps. Them niggas did what they did and had to pay the consequence. Still hop out blast.
That's what I'm saying. People were cussing him and saying like, oh, he's sliding on innocent high school kids. I'm like, bro, but these kids, quote unquote kids, was flexing his watch that they robbed him for. So it's like, are you really a kid though? Like if you're robbing grown men for their watches and flexing it in music vids and in YouTube vlogs, and when the man them asking, you know what I'm saying, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Them niggas,
you gotta be honest, bro.
Had to pay the consequence. Still hop out.
You just gotta be honest, bro.
And not be driving this thirsty shit. You would think a nigga bapping if I told you about what I did. And just walked in Liz for 2 hats. Really stepping in blood. Niggas know how it get. He ain't get a chance to run. Can't say that he tripped. Bounced out with 4 sticks. 2 niggas got hit. And after the hit went down, Lil Jeff hopped on IG and basically confirmed he pulled the trigger on Monty and Lil Rob.
And poof. Where you at? Gotta go. After that, poof. I came back. Poof. Long live them niggas though.
Lil Jeff was becoming one of the most active shooters in the city, and he allegedly slid on a dude from A-Tray Mob named Khalil and killed him too. Lil Jeff's music was blowing up, and he was linking up with dudes outside of Chicago like YBC Duel. But instead of staying in the booth, he kept sliding.
Yeah, I swear they find out that gang members are in school and think that they was good people. They was good youths. I swear.
On the ops and ended up getting killed in a crazy shootout. Lil Jeff and his homies slid into Trap City's hood and started shooting at some dudes outside of a crib. When the dudes started busting back, Lil Jeff's homies fell back and ran for cover. But Lil Jeff ran straight at the ops and kept shooting. Lil Jeff chased one of them up to the front porch of a house. And that's when someone from
Wow,
inside the crib started letting
that's why it happened like that. Cause I was wondering, how is the car so far from Jeff, and Jeff is so far from his friends, but his friends are so close to the car, because they started shooting from the car, and then you saw like the person drives away, and Jeff starts to run after that's why it happened like that. Okay, I understand now.
off shots and hit
I
Lil
understand
Jeff 19 times.
19?
Then just 1 month after Lil Jeff got killed, Lil Scoom was murdered too. On July 8,
Yeah, I remember
2024, the cops found Lil Scoom in the street with 2 shots in his chest. They tried to save him at the hospital, but it was too late and Lil Scoom was pronounced dead. But while Scoom was being treated, the cops were shooting at the dude who allegedly killed him. After they found Scoom on the ground, the cops spotted a dude walking away with a gun. They chased him down on foot, then he upped his strap and busted at them too. The situation got so crazy that they even called in a SWAT team, but somehow the shooter got away and nobody knows who he was.
What?
Lil Scoom's homie Lil Will got hit up.
No. You're telling me that someone just committed a M, right? On a block. The FBI was called. SWAT team, all of that was called. And he gets away? Bro, come on, bro. This is why enough youths want to join the gang life, bro. Because they think they can get away.
Somehow the shooter got away and nobody knows who he was. Lil Scoom's homie Lil Will got hit up too, but he only got hit in the legs and made it out alive. YBC Duel's homies in Philly and other cities were getting killed and locked up like crazy. YBC Curry, Reek 1200, and some other YBC dudes went down for murder charges.
Yo, bro, he can see the ops coming from both directions, bro, from left and right at the same time, bro. I can only do one at a time. He can look at the... Bro, this guy has your left side and your right side at all times, bro. That's why he was such a good shooter.
Yak Yola got put on Philly's most wanted list after he allegedly killed a dude in 2023. And Duel's homie Mir Pablo pleaded guilty for a gun charge. Mir Pablo probably wouldn't have done a lot of time for just the gun, but after he pleaded guilty, the cops allegedly linked it to the dude Yak Yola killed in 2023. And now Mir Pablo could go down for the murder too.
Damn.
What's crazy about the whole downfall of YBC is that the cops only took him down after a random dude got caught carjacking and told him everything.
A random dude got caught.
Cops caught an unnamed dude still in the car and pulled him over. They brought him in for an interrogation, but they had no idea what he was about to tell them. The dude didn't have a record and was panicking the whole time. He wouldn't have done any serious time. But when the cops were finishing up the interrogation, the dude told him out of nowhere that he had info about 4 murders. The dude told the cops about Ya, Reek, Murder K, Curry, and F5 killing 4 people. And that's when the investigation really started. The cops knew YBC was tearing up the city, but they didn't have any hard evidence against them. The witness told him about K3, Snipe, Nazir Marks, and Kanye Pittman's murders. He wasn't affiliated with YBC, but some of his family was in the crew, and that's why the witness was hanging around all of them. He was only visiting Philly for the summer because he had family there, and that's when he got tight with YBC. The witness heard the YBC dudes bragging about killing the ops, and he decided to tell the cops everything he knew after he got booked for jacking the whip. He wasn't from the streets, and all the violence shook him up. After the cops interrogated him, the witness called his mom and said he wanted to go home. And the next day, he was on a flight out of Philly. A homicide detective blew the witness's cover, so everyone in YBC knew he was working with the cops. But luckily, he made it out of the city alive. And when he had to come back to testify at trial, the witness and his mom stayed in hotels outside of the city and used fake names. They didn't even tell the cops where they were staying because they didn't even think the cops could be trusted. YBC members were getting killed and locked up all the time, but that never slowed.
Bro,
YBC
this is like a movie.
Bro,
this is literally a movie, bro. Like, just, bro, a random kid visiting his gang member cousins for the summer decides that, yo, my gang member cousins hyped me up and now I want to go steal a car. I stole the car and I got arrested on my first night. And now I'm going to snitch on all of my gang member cousins about what they've been doing in a state that I'm not even from. Bro, this is the wildest story I've ever heard in my life.
Ops basically even called out the whole city when he went on No Jumper. Duel said he wanted to make enough money in the rap game to leave Philly behind for good. But first he wanted to bring all his homies with him. YBC Duel said that at some point, he quit dissing people so much, but the dissing is what got his name buzzing in the first place, so he couldn't just switch up overnight and lose all his fans. YBC Duel blew up off this.
He said 19 shots to
he
the
even went
chest.
viral
Yeah.
for allegedly digging up one of his ops' graves. It turned out that it wasn't a real grave he was digging up, but everyone went crazy over the video, and there's a good chance his ops still thought it was a real grave too. The distant put a huge target on Duel's back though, and he wasn't even safe.
Crazy
He was
to
outside
me.
of Philly. Duel went out to Washington, D.C. and allegedly got into a shootout right when he got to the city. He aired out the whole situation on IG Live, but it still didn't make him switch up how he moved. And one day before YBC Duel got killed, a YouTuber named Brandon
Yes,
Buckingham
I remember
dropped
that.
a video he made with Duel in Philly. Duel took him all over the hood and talks about Philly, and Duel even brags about how no one had ever touched him in the streets.
Like, real niggas fuck with me. Like, the street niggas could vouch for me. Anywhere I go, nobody don't play with me. I never got robbed. I never got touched, shot at in the city.
Then just one day later, the ops caught up to
Isn't
Duel
it?
and killed him in broad daylight. Along with the vlog, YBC Duel also dropped a music video with Brandon Buckingham called Mick Buckingham, where he continued to diss his ops in reference to McDonald's. After Duel was killed, Brandon was getting a lot of hate online, and even DJ
This is
Academics called him
wild.
out for putting himself in the middle of the beef. YBC Duel's dad also made a statement on Duel's Instagram after he was killed to clear up
Fact.
some of the rumors and talk about what happened. Around the same time Duel was killed,
This
there was
is
another
wild,
video
bro.
going around of a dude getting shot on the bike, and some blogs were claiming it was footage of the murder. But Duel's dad said that was not him and told people to stop spreading fake news. He also admitted that Duel wasn't a saint, and he made a lot of enemies in Philly. But Duel's dad thinks it was some kind of targeted setup.
Yeah, it
That's
had
the
to
only
be.
way the shooters could get that close.
Facts.
K3's mom,
It had
one
to
of
be
the
a
dudes who
setup.
was killed in the beef that YBC had dissed, also went live on Instagram and talked about the situation. It even seemed like K3's mom was trolling Duel and said that he'd still be alive if the fans didn't gas him up. What makes the situation
Wow.
even worse is that Duel was on his
He'd
way
still
up.
be alive right
said
now
he
if
wanted to
niggas
make a
ain't
change
gassed
in
him
the
up.
city. YBC Duel said he knew that YBC had been tearing the city up, but he wanted to give back and start building shelters and helping other people make it out of the trenches too. But before he could turn it
Damn.
all around and reach his full potential, Duel was tragically killed. And now the violence in
That's
Philly
kinda
is
like
probably gonna
crazy.
turn up even more.
After you done killed almost everybody in the city, all of your ops, you wanna like invest in the shit that's left, the shit that you caused. Like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, I get it though, cause gangsters in Jamaica do the same thing. But like, come on, bro, ski. Be realistic. Oh, let me like the video. Fuck, I forgot to like the video. Damn. All right, hold on. Let me go back and like the video. I always make sure I like the videos and support.
YBC Duel took disrespect
You know
to
what I'm
another
saying?
level.
UK Drill Plug though dropped his video today. Wolverhampton. Is anybody in the chat from Wolves? He was for sure set up. Exactly, bro. Look at that video, bro. That look. Somebody gave the low, bro. Somebody gave the drop. Somebody gave the drop. Somebody gave the drop.
And where a trial has just wrapped up over the murder of a 15-year-old boy.
What?
15-year-old boy.
It's fucking blatant. Chiz gang most hated pagan.
There's a million ways to die. One of them's getting shot by me.
Now, Wolverhampton.
There's a
It's fucking blatant. Chiz gang most hated pagan.
There's a million ways to die. One of them's getting shot by me.
Now, Wolverhampton is a city and metropolitan borough in the West Midlands.
In
More
the West
specifically, however,
Midlands.
it's located around 12 miles northwest of Birmingham. In a 2023 crime
Just
report,
went Wolves
Wolverhampton
today,
was actually
LFL,
ranked as
see
one of the
that?
most dangerous
Yeah.
cities in the West Midlands. In 2023, the crime rate in Wolverhampton was around 129 crimes per 1,000 people. This then compared
How was it?
poorly in comparison to the West
How would you describe Wolverhampton, the legend, in your opinion?
Midlands as a whole, which has a crime rate of around 118 crimes per 1,000 people. As of a 2021 census, the population of Wolverhampton was around
How is that in the
260,000
ranking?
residents
Is that a good
as whole,
ranking?
Which has a crime rate of 1,000 people. This then comparing poorly in comparison to the West Midlands as a whole, which has a crime rate of around 118 crimes per 1,000 people. As
so
of a
yeah, they are
2021
worse.
census,
Wolves is
the
right
population
out.
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wolverhampton was around 260,000 residents living in and around Wolverhampton. This being a 5% increase since 2011, in which the population was around 250,000. Now, what a lot
Okay.
of the people that are currently living in and around Wolverhampton are unaware of is the long-running gang war that has been playing out within the streets
Facts.
of Wolverhampton.
I was
claiming
gonna
the lives
say,
of
that just
multiple
sound like
people that
you
were both
come from
involved
Brum.
and not involved.
Go
As
to
a
a
result
regular
of the
place,
gang
I go, it's
feud,
fine.
it then led to
But
broad
there's
daylight
places I
stabbings and
wouldn't
shootings occurring
be
in
walking
Wolverhampton's
for
busiest
sure.
area.
But say, all right. So where is one place in Wolves you would want to be walking? Not saying that I'm gonna reach all the way up in the West Midlands, But maybe, you never know, bro. Life is life.
Yes, this being the gang war.
So just in case I end up in Wolves, just let me know where not to go.
Between BG and Triz. As a quick note before this video begins, a lot of information on Wolverhampton beef is unknown unless you live in and around Wolverhampton, which I do not. So if I do miss something to do with the beef, feel free to comment it down below. But without further ado, enjoy the video.
My thing, alternate whole up block to a dubstep. That's my mum ways from right
Now, the first gang I'll be discussing is that of BG, or BGD, this being a gang based around the WV2 postcode within Wolverhampton. Originally, the BG gang was based around the Blakenhall estate. However, this estate has since been demolished, leading to the gang moving their territory, although the gang is still based around the WV2 postcode, more specifically the Parkfield area. The name BG is believed to be an acronym for Black Gang, which is something often mentioned by BG's most well-known rapper, that being M. Loose, who previously went by Muller. M. Loose began dropping music around 2016, but would only see little success until around 2020 and 2021, when his music began to gain attention due to how disrespectful some of the things he was saying were. Now, upon listening to M. Loose's music, you can often hear him dissing some of the things
I didn't even know he said that. Got from a chest shot, then he came back like he left his charger. Oh my god. Look at this. This is a rude line, bro. This is one of the rudest bars ever.
Now, upon listening to M. Loose's music, you can often hear him dissing rival gangs, the most prominent of these being a gang referred to as V3 or Triz, although the BG gang has beef with nearly all of the surrounding gangs within Wolverhampton, beefing EBG from Eastfield, GB from Glentworth, and finally Triz or V3, which
I did hear the story about Dale Cregan, the white gangster, the crazy guy, the one with one eye.
Based only one street away from BG's territory.
Fucking blatant. Chiz gang most hated pagan.
The Triz crew is a gang predominantly based around Meridale and other estates. The gang is actually only a street away from the rival BG gang, Triz being based on the WV3 postcode. More simply, Triz goes by V3, this being a reference to the postcode taken up by the street gang, that being WV3. The Triz gang is affiliated with nearby GB, or Glentworth Boys, which is another gang involved in this war, GB being based around WV6. Triz has a rivalry with BG or Black Gang from WV2, as well as Firetown from the Heathtown estate. So for simplicity's sake, BG or Black Gang
that's
has
just a
beef
lot
with
of
Triz, EBG from Eastfield, and GB or Glentworth Boys, whilst the BG gang is affiliated with Firetown and AR from Birmingham. To make things simple, however, I'll only really
you can't make it simple.
Long-standing beef between BG and Triz.
There's no way to make this simple, bro. Just
now,
do your
you may be
thing.
confused as to how teenagers from different areas of Wolverhampton have come to beef each other, thus resulting in brutal stabbings and shootings occurring in the streets of Wolverhampton.
J Smoke.
Now, originally the gangs that had a rivalry within Wolverhampton would be that of Firetown, better known at the time as Heathtown, and a rival gang from the Pendeford area, WV8, this gang being known as the Pendeford Crew. It's believed that this beef would kick off other rivalries within Wolverhampton, with an early incident occurring between the two gangs in 2008, when a Firetown member would brutally stab an associate of the Pendeford Crew, killing him and sparking more deadly attacks within the streets of Wolverhampton. On the 24th of August
Chicago
2008,
is crazy, bro.
an alleged associate of the Pendeford Crew, known as Marlon Morris, would travel from Pendeford to Wolverhampton city centre for a night out with friends. It's believed he was with another Pendeford crew member who was known under the street name Shredder. Shredder actually made news headlines in 2017 after he accidentally shot himself in the groin, resulting in his testicle being removed. This incident then led to the eventual arrest of Shredder, who was charged with gun possession. Anyways, this incident then
Yo, the man blasted himself in the groin with a shotgun and had to get his balls removed. Oh my, you see, bro, I'm not messing with these guns, bro.
Led to the eventual arrest of Shredder, who was charged with gun possession. Anyways, both Marlon Morris
and that's the reason why you got charged as well. Because the feds know that it's a gunshot you, so the feds just oh my god, that's so stupid.
Led to the eventual arrest of Shredder, who was charged with gun possession. Anyways, both Marlon Morris, Shredder, and a few other friends traveled to Wolverhampton City Centre on the evening of the 24th of August 2008.
He's Shredder Bob.
A rival from the Firetown gang known as Jamie Price.
He's not Shredder,
he's the group. It's known that Jamie Price sought out the members as Shredder had supposedly attacked a Firetown member in the days prior. Jamie Price would single out Marlon Morris, chasing him for a few minutes before he caught up, and launched an attack on Price by a rival from the Firetown gang known as Jamie Price, would notice the group. It's known that Jamie Price sought out the members as Shredder had supposedly attacked a Firetown member in the days prior. Jamie Price would single out Marlon Morris, chasing him for a few minutes before he caught up, and launched an attack on Marlon Morris. Marlon was stabbed around 4 times in this attack, with one of the strikes piercing his heart. Marlon's friends quickly called for emergency services, and upon arrival, Marlon was rushed to hospital, but would sadly be pronounced dead
Worst
hours
way to
later,
get nicked.
with Jamie Price then going on the run. However, despite his attempts of evading the law, he was quickly arrested and charged for the murder. And in 2010, Jamie Price, the son of English music producer Goldie, was found guilty and given life for the murder. Rest in peace, Marlon Morris. Now, it's not really known what occurred between the gangs following the death of...
It just shows, bro, there's a lot of kids that are like the sons of like music producers and people that are should be technically well off, and they're just on gang stuff. Like R.I.P. Perm, but Perm's dad is like a boxing coach, and like in the boxing world and like on boxing TV. But Perm is in South London fighting gang wars though. It's like, how? I don't get it.
Rest in peace, Marlon Morris. Now, it's not really known what occurred between the gangs following the death of Marlon Morris. What is known, however, is that around the mid-2010s, new gangs became a lot more prominent within Wolverhampton. Example being both Triz and BG, or Black Gang, who have both had a rivalry since around the mid-2010s when both gangs emerged. However, during this time, BG didn't really focus their beef toward Triz, but instead rival EBG, which was a gang based around Eastfield, as well as GB. Around 2015 and 2016, a younger BG member started to get active within the streets of Wolverhampton, supposedly becoming very feared very quickly, this being Muller, who was quick to start releasing music. It's rumored that around this time during the early days of the beef, rival Triz members would stab Muller's dad. However, this hasn't been proven. This incident then being something often referenced in tracks released by Triz members, as well as EB members from
why is he lying
Eastfield. Speaking
again?
of music, it would be around 2016 and the start of 2017 that Muller would begin to drop tracks.
Yeah, bro. YCB brother is a footballer in the Premier League right now.
YouTube. These songs included 2 Degrees in August 2016, this being followed by the track titled Reverse in September 2016. During the start of his music career, he didn't actually gain much attention within the underground UK drill scene, although this would all change around 2021, following a criminal behavior order that was put in place to stop Muller from inciting violence, as well as a prison sentence. He returned to the drill scene in 2020 and would become extremely well known for his rude bars and extremely cold beat selection. One of the earliest incidents
inciting
reported
violence,
between both
Muller.
the Triz Gang and the BG Gang would occur at the beginning of 2018, when members of BG would travel onto Triz territory and noticed a group of Triz Gang members. It's then believed that a fight ensued between the groups of members. During this brawl, 2 members of the Triz Gang would be stabbed multiple times by the group of BG members. A 14-year-old alleged Triz member sustained wounds to the stomach as a result of the attack, and was actually in critical condition, but luckily went on to make a recovery. A separate 15-year-old alleged Triz member sustained wounds to both his leg and hand, but was discharged from hospital hours later, with both youths luckily surviving. It's believed that around the time that this incident occurred, a member associated with the Triz Gang, known by the street name K-Sav, would actually swap sides and began to roll with BG members, dissing his old friends and other gangs that BG had a rivalry with, which is crazy as previously in June 2017, K-Sav had appeared in Triz music videos. For example, in the Postcode King's Hood Talk, K-Sav could be seen wearing a silver mask and heard disrespecting his rivals. Anyways, after K-Sav would join the BG Gang, he would begin to rap alongside Muller, who was making noise in the underground Wolverhampton drill scene.
That's what I don't
fact that he had swapped to his rivals'
That's
gang,
what I don't
his old
understand.
friends began to watch him and even knew where he lived.
Wow.
On the 22nd of February 2018, K-Sav and his dad would be driving in Meridale when a rival Triz member noticed them. The Triz member was actually one of K-Sav's closest friends when he was a Triz Gang member. But due to the fact he had switched sides, however, the Triz member wouldn't take too kindly to seeing K-Sav, with it even being alleged that the Triz member went on to produce an axe and threaten K-Sav, who was with his dad. Luckily, K-Sav made it out of this situation unharmed. However, sadly, only months later, on the 29th of May 2018, he would fall victim to a brutal attack carried out by that same Triz Gang member, who he had got into a confrontation with whilst he was with his dad. On the 29th of May 2018, at around 3 p.m., a brawl between both BG members and Triz members broke out in Wolverhampton City Centre. This entire
Bro, look at
incident
this.
where both BG
Broad day, bro. Like broad day, fam. Like what?
And Triz members broke out in
Miggle
Wolverhampton
day in
City
the
Centre.
streets.
This entire incident was recorded by a shocked bystander and saw members involved retrieving machetes and chasing one another. This incident subsequently resulting in get-back attacks occurring that seemingly led to the death of K-Sav. Around 2 hours following this incident, K-Sav was walking down a road in BG territory when two rival Triz members approached him. K-Sav began to run with the Triz members, then allegedly firing a shotgun off in his direction. Luckily, K-Sav managed to get away from the armed attackers, although sadly later that day he would be attacked once again in a shocking and brutal attack.
No. So a madness go on the mains. Someone pulls up and blasts a shotgun at you, and you don't decide to just call it a day and just chill for today. You don't decide to just pack it up for today. Like maybe I should just chill today. Outside kind of hot today. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot going on outside. Let me just chill inside. No? Alright, my bad.
Hours later, 15-year-old K-Sav would be walking down Langley Road in Mary Hill.
15?
A few hours later, 15-year-old K-Sav would be...
Bro, like, you can't be going through that much at 15, bro. Listen to what he's going through at 15, bro.
walking down Langley Road in Mary Hill, which was Triz territory. Anyways, 4 rival Triz members noticed K-Sav, who was sitting in a taxi. A vicious attack was then launched on K-Sav, in which he was dragged out of the taxi and was stabbed around 40 times by his old friends. The attackers quickly fled, with police arriving on the scene moments later. Sadly, K-Sav was pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched. Around 9 people were arrested in the weeks following K-Sav's death. However, they would later be released under investigation, and in 2019, 3 men went on to be arrested for K-Sav's murder, with one of them being K-Sav's old friend from the Triz gang. A year following the arrests of the 3 Triz members, another man was arrested, and in the end, 3 of the gang members were given life with a minimum of 18 years, whilst the final man was given 17 years. Rest in peace, Keelan Wilson, or K-Sav. Following the death of K-Sav, rivals to the BG gang began to heavily mock the incident within songs. In a track released in 2018 by an EB member known as E9 and Maysky from Moscow 17, they would diss K-Sav, in which they rapped, "K-Sav got slapped at and splashed up in the same day. He was destined death." E9 then also referenced the stabbing of Muller's dad. Muller would actually hear this diss towards K-Sav and replied in his own song, in which he rapped about EB to Moscow O. Claps showed Maysky the WAP. He went all quiet, he weren't involved.
Wow.
If anything, this just showed that the beef had escalated from the streets and was now being documented with...
No, but look how Moscow 17 gonna get themselves mixed up in Wolverhampton beef. Wolverhampton, bro?
He rapped about EB to Moscow O. Claps showed Maysky the WAP. He went all quiet, he weren't involved. If anything, this just showed that the beef had escalated from the streets and was now being documented within rude UK drill songs uploaded by members on each side. Sadly, however, only a few months following the death of K-Sav, GB members allied with Triz would ride out onto rival Park Village territory, home to the 10 Side Gang, which was allied with EB, and went on to commit a shooting, killing a man. On the 20th of July 2018, 4 members alleged to be from the GB gang armed themselves with guns and used a stolen vehicle, in which they drove from their block onto rival Park Village territory, home to the PV-10 Side Gang. The 4 GB members noticed Dwayne Houghton, who was sitting in the passenger seat of a car whilst his cousin was driving. The car driven by the GB members pulled up alongside the passenger window and began firing into the car. Dwayne Houghton sustained wounds to his head and shoulders as a result of the shooting and was rushed to hospital by his cousin. Sadly, however, during the
I don't know who was saying it, bro, but like someone, I don't know which song I listen, but they say anytime they get in the passenger side of a car, they lean the seat all the way back. I don't remember which rapper said it. And I was like, every time I watch these videos and I hear, oh, they were just driving in traffic and just spot him. Like, what? Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not being spotted, bro.
Shoulders as a result of the shooting, and was rushed to hospital by his cousin. Sadly, however, during the early hours of the next morning, Dwayne was pronounced dead in hospital, with a murder investigation being launched. All 4 of the attackers were arrested and charged for Dwayne's murder. The 4 members were found guilty and given life in prison, 2 members being given 28 years, whilst the other 2 were given 15 years. The 4 defendants were further charged and found guilty of possession of a firearm and ammunition with intent to endanger life. It's believed that whilst the trial was taking place, 2 of the defendants were given a further 4 years, as they were connected to a deadly stabbing that occurred in the months before.
What?
Rest in peace, Dwayne Houghton. It's rumored that following the killing of Dwayne, Park Village gang members were seeking retaliation, and in May 2019 they rode out onto GB territory, shooting a 16-year-old member in the head. This 16-year-old went by the street name S.A. The shooters fled quickly, and S.A. was rushed to hospital, luckily making a recovery. The teenage shooters were arrested shortly after the shooting, although I couldn't find if they were sentenced or not. In the months following Dwayne Houghton's death, the underground UK drill music scene in Wolverhampton was actually gaining attention. Muller from BG was the most prominent of Wolverhampton rappers around this time, dropping the song Do It in November 2018. This currently sitting on around 130,000 views. However, he wouldn't stop there, and around a month later, Muller dropped the highly disrespectful track titled Return to Sender with Boogs.
Return
this
to
song
Sender.
featuring multiple disses toward Triz, and whilst it looked as if Muller could
What?
make a name for himself in the UK drill scene, he was still knee-deep in the gang life, with a video
He's
from
still
the time
knee-deep
even
now.
emerging showing Muller chasing a rival EB member, this being an incident he later rapped about. In 2019, however, he ended up serving time for a crime he would commit, and would be forced to quit music as a result of this. On the 15th of February,
Whoa!
taken for a crime he would commit, and
What? That's Muller's face?
would be forced
Damn. Everybody look at M Loose.
to quit music as a result of this. On the
Everybody,
15th of
that's M.
February
Loose.
2019.
So when he's in videos, this is who is in the videos.
Would commit and would be forced to quit music as a result of
Everybody
this. On
say
the 15th
hello
of
to M.
February
Loose. Say hi, M.
2019,
Loose.
Muller from BG and a Firetown member known as Shanky.
Man
would
say, I
ride
only
out onto
drive cars
rivals
with
with
Tim,
two
say no way
knives,
I'm getting
one being
spotted.
a foot-long
Exactly.
machete. Police noticed the car and stopped it in the Heathtown area of Wolverhampton. Muller was arrested on the scene whilst Shanky ran from the car. Later, Shanky
Shanky.
was arrested. Both members were found guilty of possessing a bladed article. Muller was sentenced to 15 months, plus
Damn.
an additional 3 months for breaching a community order. On top of this, Muller was given a 5-year criminal behavior order. This banned him from meeting in public with certain associates, having more than one mobile phone, inciting violence through music videos,
Have
and
more than-
finally
having
visiting
more than
certain
one
parts of
mobile phone.
Wolverhampton, whilst Shanky from Firetown was jailed for 9 months. It's rumored that upon Muller's release from prison, he would begin to go by a new name, this being M. Loose. Following M. Loose's release from jail, around 2020 he began to get straight back into the music scene. He released Real as Hell at the start of 2021.
That song
which
is
gained
amazing.
Loads of attention, currently
song is
sitting on
amazing.
2.5 million views, this being extremely successful for an underground UK drill rapper. Members from the Triz gang also began to release music. In February 2021, J Smoke from Triz released his track titled GBG, or
J
Get Back Gang.
Smoke.
Within the lyrics of this song, J Smoke would even allude to the fact that Triz had allegedly stabbed 4 rivals in a 1-month time gap.
Them piss cover chin down 4 in a month. They're pissed. I just grab a Zeno from Big Bro. Crash.
And whilst it looked as if J Smoke could really make waves in the UK drill scene, under 2 months following the release of this GBG track, he would accidentally shoot his girlfriend, leading to him being arrested and
No way, no way, no way, no way.
the release of this GBG track. He would accidentally shoot his girlfriend, leading to him being arrested and charged. On
No.
the 2nd of April 2000,
Bro, so this is the second accidental shooter in this video? What's with these accidental shooters, bro?
2021, J Smoke from the Triz gang would have a shotgun delivered to his mother's home by an unknown 17-year-old. J Smoke would supposedly take the shotgun inside, whilst his girlfriend was also inside, and would begin to test it and play with it. J Smoke then took a hammer and hit the shotgun, which caused it to shoot. J Smoke's girlfriend was shot in the stomach by the shotgun. J Smoke then fled the scene, leaving his girlfriend to call for emergency services, where she was rushed to hospital with a collapsed lung. Originally, she was in critical condition. However, she luckily survived the attack going on to make a recovery. It's believed J Smoke then gave a 17-year-old the evidence and ordered him to dispose of it. However, J Smoke was then arrested and charged for the shooting, and in the end, he was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years for the shooting. This entire incident was later referenced in M. Loose's most recent song, Wow, in which he rapped,
Let me see one thing as well. Don't make no freestyles in jail if the only person you shot is your girl. When you laugh back.
Now, a lot of incidents occurred
Oh
between
my god, and I remember that bar, and I literally asked you know, I just asked in my reaction in general, bro, who is he talking about? Like, who is making jail freestyles and they've shot their woman, bro? Like, who is giving them permission to rap? And no one answered me, and now I get my answer.
between both the Triz gang and the BG gang following this. I won't really be speculating on them, as they aren't confirmed and are mostly just rumors. M. Loose continued to drop music, releasing A Million Ways. In June 2021, this then being followed up by his HB Freestyle in July 2021. It was actually this HB Freestyle that turned a lot of people's heads, with commenters beginning to notice his hard wordplay and evil lyrics. This really made him stand out from other UK drill rappers. M. Loose was making serious noise within the streets around this time. At the start of 2022, he released Line and Bine, which also gained a lot of attention, currently sitting on around 300,000 views. Whilst he was consistent in 2022, he wouldn't be as consistent in 2023, only releasing one song. This most likely being due to the fact that he is still involved in the street life. Now, in September 2023, an alleged GB member would be stabbed to death in a drug house only a few streets away from where K-Sav was stabbed to death in 2018. Recently, in September 2023, a member associated with the GB gang known under the street name Rels, this GB gang being allied with Triz. Anyways, on the 18th of September 2023, Rels and a friend would be sitting in a drug house on Warnford Walk in the Mary Hill area. During the time that Rels was inside the home, two rival members would get the drop on the address and knocked on the door. Rels opened the door. The two rivals then launched an attack on Rels, stabbing him several times with a Rambo knife. The two defendants then fleeing the property, and sadly, Rels was later pronounced dead on the scene, leading to yet another murder investigation being launched. In 2024, two members of a rival gang were arrested and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 24 years and 28 years for the murder. Rest in peace, Rels. Now, as of most recently, M. Loose would release his track titled Wow, which has done decent numbers for a UK drill artist, currently sitting on 100,000 views. However, M. Loose isn't the only one releasing UK drill tracks, and on the Triz side of the beef, J Smoke and OBM released the song titled Triz Story around 2 weeks ago. Now, since the death of Rels, no other incidents have really occurred within the streets. If something does happen, however, it doesn't really reach the news, so I won't mention them. If you have learned anything from this video, however, make sure that it is to stay out of the streets, as this road lifestyle that you see these rappers living often only leads to jail or death. Oftentimes, these rappers have lost most of the people around them to the roads and have to live the harsh reality of constantly being cautious, this furthering the point that this life is not worth it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Of course, bro. We never promote the streets to the youths. Tell them don't do it. Don't do it.
Get out of here. No, seriously.
No, seriously, get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
3rd and Pike.
It's a place where you can get drugs. It's a place where you die.
The epicenter of Seattle, Washington's drug
Why would anybody want to go there?
Epidemic. The intersection has become infamous for the hundreds of addicts that gather here to buy and use illegal drugs. The storefronts, once vibrant, now stand as hollow shells, overshadowed by the rampant addiction and despair. But it wasn't always this way. Going back to the 1920s, it was a popular streetcar stop for those that wanted to enjoy the more luxurious side of life, as the intersection featured an impressive array of upscale shopping. The first Starbucks was even founded 2 blocks from here in 1971, and the 1979 opening of the McDonald's was a proudly celebrated event. Unfortunately, the crack epidemic of the 1980s hit the area hard, and the McDonald's developed a growing reputation as the hangout spot for local drug dealers. In recent years, fentanyl has exploded in popularity with the local residents, resulting in more overdoses and violence than ever, as well as a booming open-air market. So come with me as we travel out to Seattle, Washington, and experience firsthand life on 3rd and Pike.
I steal hundreds of dollars worth of groceries.
It's supposed to be one of the richest states around the country, and we're dealing with this.
How would you describe the difficulty of kicking opioid addiction?
It's impossible.
You're gonna see some grimy shit.
Man say it's impossible.
Of kicking opioid addiction.
It's impossible.
You're gonna see some grimy shit.
That's Seattle. Drugs.
Behind me is 3rd and Pike, and we're going to try to speak to some of the people that live here and find out firsthand what life is like.
They broke into the Ross.
No way, dude.
All right, check this out. We just missed it. Some guy ran up here and smashed this window of this Ross Dress for Less, stole some stuff, and ran out. As you can see right here, it's closed. And yeah, this guy tried to bring this big box out here. There's a bunch of merchandise on the ground. We got some Calvin Kleins.
Let's get out of here.
Saw some
No, seriously, let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
No, seriously, let's get out of here.
Timing on my part, picking up the stolen object right as the cop walks out. So
yeah, but why would you pick it up anyway? You see, that's just white man thinking, you know, bro. You literally see somebody break into somewhere and you go over there and I take up the things where the man broke out of the store. If I was black, I would have go to jail.
I'm here with
Liam.
What is life like out here?
Alright, the legend. Big up, bro. Big up. Trigger Damage gang. For no reason, gang. Safe. Big up. Big up.
On 3rd and Pike.
Crazy as hell. A lot of drugs, a lot of bullshit, mayhem. A bunch of people walking around like zombies, all fucked up on fentanyl.
How would you describe 3rd and Pike to someone who's never heard about it?
It's a place where you can get drugs, and it's a place where you die. I've seen a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. Executions and shootings and shit like that.
How long have you been out here?
On and off for about like the last, I want to say like 8 years.
Can you tell us what happened to your leg?
Xylazine happened. Trank being a horse tranquilizer.
Xylazine.
You know what I'm saying? Eats through this tissue.
So it's suffering from necrosis right now?
Yeah, highly. Here, I'll show you.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, what is
How long
that?
has it been like that?
What is that?
It's probably been like that for about like on and off for like the last 2 years. On this leg too.
You have it on both legs.
Yeah, and also it's spread to my pancreas.
Are you still using Xylazine?
No, I bought that stuff by mistake off of somebody that I didn't know or trust. I scratched my leg one time and that's all it took. Next day, I had a lesion-like wound. Nobody wants to be in this fucking hellhole, as you can hear. This place fucking sucks.
Yeah, tell me about life out here.
Life down here is normal, you know. It's easy to do, and I just score touchdowns.
Could you tell me a little bit about life out here on 3rd and Pike?
It's crap. It's exactly what you see. It's garbage. It's dope. It's hoes. It's people who don't care about themselves, much less anybody else. It's shit like that.
Shit like that.
People out here trying to sell just to live. We're getting harassed for it.
Do you feel like there's some misconceptions about the homeless population?
Absolutely. But then again, look at this place. These people act like their 2-year-old children don't know how to pick up after themselves.
It's like
Yo!
disgusting. If I were to fly in from any other state and see this as a downtown, I'd be fucking repulsed. You know, nowhere else is this fucking trash. Every single person you see out here right now is an adult. Adults should be able to clean up after themselves.
Just a few years ago, if you came here, you would see orange needles littered all around the street, right?
A couple years ago, it was heroin that was the main drug out here. And you would see needles scattered everywhere, like everywhere you go. I mean, playgrounds, everything. There'd be needles everywhere, all over the city. Far and few between people who still shoot up out here, but I mean, you'll see it occasionally. But if you call a number, they'll come and pull up on you and give you needles, give you whatever you need.
So they have mobile needle delivery service?
Yeah, they do. It's like a needle exchange, harm reduction, and then they have harm reduction places where you can go and give your needles. You exchange them 1 for 1 for brand
What?
new
They
needles.
give
But a lot of
needles?
time, even if you don't have needles, they'll just give you boxes of them. It's crazy.
How does it make you feel when you see people like this gentleman who's on the ground just balled up and crippled with drug addiction?
Uncomfortable. I mean, I don't like to see it, but I mean, I guess being out here is a part of life, you know? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Like, you can't get these people sober if they don't want to get sober themselves, you know?
So there's essentially nothing you can do unless they want something to be done?
Yeah, 100%. If you don't want to get sober for yourself, you're probably not going to get sober. Like, you can get a dose of fentanyl for $1, you know?
That's super crazy. How cheap was heroin?
I wouldn't say cheap, but it was like $10 for a point or like 60 to 80 a gram. A fentanyl pill's a lot stronger than like a point of heroin, so when the fentanyl pills came out, they took over.
How bad is the fentanyl addiction?
You see a lot of these people, like, they'll be going crazy, crying, and like just begging people to get them high. And you know, like, I used to be an opiate addict, and like the opiate withdrawals are horrible.
For someone who doesn't know what it's like, how is the experience of going through a fentanyl withdrawal?
It's like the flu times like 5. It's horrible.
Yo,
it's like the worst
what?
flu you've ever had in your life. It takes days, and so a lot of these people don't want to go through withdrawals, so they keep doing it, you know?
Seattle used to be so much more than this, and now it's
Damn.
this, so it's sad.
Damn, that Steak and Shake can't even open up. I like
And
Steak and
actually,
Shake.
the acceptance, you know what I'm saying?
I can't get me a
the
little
laws
Steak
are
and Shake.
changing, and they're being more. They're
can't get me a little Steak and Shake.
People, and I know like that nobody wants to hear me say that, but and you have
can't
people
do
shooting
nothing
up
on
and
that
smoking
street
and all that on the street and
except
shit.
fentanyl
I've done it. I do it.
and
you know,
meth
So I'm not gonna. I
and
can't knock it,
opioids.
but I do because I know better. And if I'm going to do that, I should be in the house doing it. I just don't have a house anymore, so where am I going to do it at?
Seattle's definitely not doing what they're supposed to. There's a lot of homelessness, and like they're really not doing shit about it. Like, as you can see, like, the block is fucking crazy out here right now, and the cops really aren't doing much. They really can't do much. Seattle is like down a ton on cops right now, so I mean they're not doing even a quarter of what they should, really. A lot of theft and boosting. They grab shit from stores, shoplift, and then come out here and sell it. There's a bunch of fences out here, which is who you sell stolen shit to, and then they end up buying dope straight on the block.
Bro,
sleep.
We have fences in Red Dead. We should have played some Red Dead
today. That's all they be
today.
doing is just walking around, and like they don't really have a place to go. And then the other people, they either have tents or like they have somewhere to go, a friend's house, a tent, tiny home, whatever, you know.
I think Seattle's done a great job. They got bombarded with a lot of people. The housing part is kind of iffy to me. You know, I've realized that there's a lot of housing available, but they're not being utilized for some reason. And there's a lot of buildings that are going up that are being torn down and rebuilt. There's enough units for whoever's left out here anyway, for them to have at least 2 units to themselves.
For those who don't know, Seattle
Okay.
offers its homeless population housing programs such as Urban League and DESE, a program that aims to end homelessness and assist by placing people in emergency housing sites. You were saying that you've been homeless before, right?
Yeah, I've been homeless for like a couple years, had a stint of homelessness.
And how difficult is it to get housing here in Seattle?
If you don't have any resources, it's really difficult to get housing. Especially a lot of people out here, like they get their shit stolen, they lose their ID, all that kind of stuff. The city gives people like free apartments or will house people for an extended amount of time, but that's like difficult. It takes years to get into. Either A, they just tell you to call back later, or they really don't help you at all. I mean, like it's super difficult. It took me a couple years to get off the streets. I mean, a lot of these people have been out here for 6, 7, 8 years and still can't get housing. And then like they have a bunch of shelters, and the shelters are always either full or like they have bed bugs and like lice and all sorts of crazy shit that you don't want to get.
I mean, there's lots of housing they give out. There's places where they could shower and shit and all that stuff instead of the alleyways.
They're called harm reduction, and so they give you supplies so that you can safely use. But that creates a drug culture. So if you're trying to get clean, then that like they have funding to do like.
They're just giving them the
amazing
drugs to
things.
use, bro. All right, we get it.
And you have
They
those.
just drugged out over there. We get it. Let's see what this is
A
about.
homeowner in the Bronx started renting a basement apartment.
Wait. Damn, he up in there with the ski mask and everything.
Woman who was from Ecuador. These migrants were
Look
gang
at them.
members who had been arrested
Scary
over and over.
ass.
So gangs are now taking over homes and apartments in New York City. In some cases, they disguise themselves as normal renters, but in other instances, they simply break in and destroy the place. And unfortunately, New York is not the only city in America where this is happening.
Some new video today shows that some are calling gang violence at an apartment complex in Aurora. We see men there entering an apartment building with several weapons, then busting down a door.
A sergeant and 2 cops pull up to this house. They see a man pointing a gun down a driveway. They chase that man into a basement apartment and they make the arrest. And he's an asylum seeker. He's a migrant.
They used this woman to get them in there, and once one of them was in there, it became like a clubhouse for 8 or 9 of the most dangerous people the landlord had ever been introduced to.
You can see the windows are shattered out. There are things on the roof damaged. Fire officials on the scene tell us the spark was an extension cord that was charging multiple e-bikes. Now, they say this is a property, again, that home right in the middle, that is a problem for the community. They say they have seen people coming and going, and they say it was only a matter of time before this property caused a problem.
And right now, even as we speak, a new migrant caravan is on its way to the U.S.-Mexico border. Those in the caravan say they want to cross into the U.S. before November's election.
They weren't afraid of being arrested. They weren't afraid of anything. They knew nobody was going to do anything, so they just came back and set up shop like everything was everything.
Wow.
So 2 homes were just totally destroyed after a gang took one over and accidentally burned it down. But nobody's talking about how this problem of gangsters taking over apartments and using them as hideouts tends to happen more in sanctuary cities than anywhere else. And it's been happening here in New York for months, fueled by the proliferation of dangerous gang members through our shelter system, who act as if they're entering an American sanctuary city as someone who's fleeing poverty or persecution, when the only thing on their mind is persecuting the law-abiding. And the reason this is happening in New York and Chicago and Denver and other cities like this is because these gang members understand, according to critics, that they can get away with a lot more in parts of the country where laws are designed to protect them. For example, in New York, it's against the law for police to share the immigration status of someone they arrest with the federal government. And part of the reason gang members operate with such brazenness here is because even if the NYPD arrests them and federal immigration finds out, our police are not allowed to hold that individual until the government can come get them, which means immigration enforcement has to make their own arrests arrest on their own time with zero help from our city. And that brings us to the real reason why we're now witnessing gang activity in this country that we've never seen before. These criminals, once they get here, not only are they protected, they can also take advantage of a very generous social safety net set up for those fleeing extreme poverty. And they take advantage of this generosity to connect not with a path leading to the American dream, which is what most asylum seekers do, but with the criminal underworld. Now, New York in particular finds itself between a rock and a hard place, because while our mayor and police realize the dangers we're now facing because of this gang activity, they're fighting an uphill battle against a legal system that keeps criminals out on the street when they commit minor, non-violent offenses, like engaging in a calm, peaceful shoplifting spree that doesn't hurt anything except the bottom line of a big company, or shut down one of New York's many small, struggling businesses. But critics say we've got another problem, because this city and its shelter system are now full of individuals who may not be who they say they are, and may be hiding from a past life as a criminal, or worse, trying to start a new life of crime here in America, which recently happened when...
This guy's voice is annoying me. I thought this video was going to be cooler than this, I can't lie. You know what? W stream today, bro. I'm tired, bro. It's 7:37. I'll usually end right now anyway, bro. Yo. Love you know. Big up everybody that tuned into the stream today. We listened to a lot of drill. We watched Mr. Disrespectful lost his life, RIP to him. We saw the drug epidemic on 3rd and Pine, or Pike or something like that. Gang members taking over New York. And a lot of drill. Yeah, you already know. So, 7:37. I'm hungry. I need to take a shower. Yeah. I've been in front of camera lights for about like 6-7 hours right now. So, like, I love y'all. Gang business. And I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to try to do something else. I'm going to see. I'm going to try to do something other than reactions tomorrow. I'm going to see what else we could do. You know what I'm saying? But gang